भाव उत्पन्न होते ही रहते हैं। इसमें इसलिए यह सदा नवीन ही बना रहता है एवं एकाग्र चित्त होकर श्रद्धा भक्ति सहित विचार करने से इसके पद पद में परम रहस्य भरा हुआ प्रत्यक्ष प्रतीत होता है। भगवान के गुण, प्रभाव, स्वरूप, तत्व, रहस्य और उपासना का तथा कर्म एवं ज्ञान का वर्णन जिस प्रकार इस गीता शास्त्र में किया गया है, वैसा अन्य ग्रंथों में एक साथ मिलना कठिन है। भगवत गीता एक ऐसा अनुपमेय शास्त्र है जिसका एक भी शब्द सदुपदेश से खाली नहीं है। गीता में एक भी शब्द ऐसा नहीं है जो रोचक कहा जा सके। इसमें जितनी बातें कही गई हैं वे सभी अक्षरशः यथार्थ हैं। सत्य स्वरूप भगवान की वाणी में रोचकता की I really enjoyed this paragraph and I thought I'll share that with you because that's the greatest glory of a Gita I have ever read. Coming exact, it's in the middle of Mahabharata. It has 18 chapters, 700 shlokas called verses. The scholars of Gita have divided these 18 chapters into 3 parts. The first 6 chapters are called Twampada. The next 6 chapters are called Tatpada. And the last 6 chapters are called Asipada, depicting the phrase Tat Tvam Asi. It's a very famous phrase. Everybody knows Tat Tvam Asi, you are that. It comes from, this phrase comes from one of the Vedas. No, sorry, from one of the Upanishad, not Vedas. Okay. In Tatpada, in Twampada, all about the confusion and delusion Arjuna was going through, which is applicable to all of us. In Tatpada, Bhagwan talks about his glory and even shows the Vishwarupa Darshan in chapter 12. And Asipada, the last 6 chapters, talk about Jiva Dhamma Aikyam, means, or you can call it Atma Paramatma ki Ekta. Besides Ramayana and Mahabharata, there are many Puranas, and in Varaha Purana, Bhagwan himself says, मैं गीता के आश्रय में रहता हूँ, गीता मेरा घर है, गीता के सहायता के ज्ञान का सहारा लेकर ही मैं तीनों लोकों का पाता हूँ। गीता श्रये हम तिष्ठामि, गीता में चोत्तमं गृहम्, गीता ज्ञान उपाश्रित्य त्रीन् लोकालयाम्यहम्. This is the glory of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. There are many commentaries. People are so attracted by this. Everybody reads, likes a commentary. There are so many commentaries about Gita available by many scholars, including some Western scholars who are really impressed, studied, understood, and wrote commentaries. The most popular and authentic commentary is by Sri Adi Shankaracharya, the stalwart of Advaita Vedanta. And Swami Dayananda taught us all the Gita, anything, through his commentary. And this is how we learn the Gita, through Advaita Vedanta. Why did Sri Krishna appeared in the middle of Mahabharata? He explains in the 4th chapter, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srajamyaham paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So very famous verse. Most of the people know about it. What Bhagavan said, whenever there is a decline in right living and an increase in wrong living, yada yada, anywhere and everywhere, I bring myself into a physical body. Paritranaya sadhunam. Why he does that? To protect those who are committed to dharma and the destruction of those who follows other. I come into being in every yuga. And thus the justification of avatara, we all know it is. The avatars have been there in the world from time to time. Many somebody asked me why one time when Ravana is killed or Hiranya, why it happens again. It happens again because people are not stable. One Ravana goes, other Ravana comes. One Hitler dies, some other person becomes like a Hitler. So again and again, the evil comes, and again, Bhagavan takes birth to bring back the evil, to bring back the justice in the world. And we don't even have to think about big avatars. We can see in our own time, we can see Ramakrishna Parahams, Vivekananda, Swami Dayananda, my teacher, and Chinmayananda. These are all like avatars. We have some of us are fortunate to see them personally. Some of us only hear about them, but they are all like avatars. Thus, this is a brief history of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And what I would like for you to do, besides Shankaracharya, there was one Madhusudana Saraswati. He was probably about 600, 700 years ago, or maybe within 1,000 years. He was also a great devotee of Bhagavad Gita. He wrote a very effective commentary called Bhashyam, but along with the Bhashyam, he wrote 9 verses, which is called the Gita Dhyanam. Gita Dhyanam always is it is approved by all the scholars, and people may not read the commentary of Madhusudan Saraswati, but Gita Dhyanam everybody reads. It's very popular. Any time we read Gita, we have to read the Gita Dhyanam before we proceed to learn the verses. And I would request all of you can go to the Google and find Gita Dhyanam, and from next session we will read Gita Dhyanam first, and then we will go to the verses. I will read the Gita Dhyanam one time. If anybody has, please look at it. I'll read the Gita Dhyanam today to just give an idea what it is. You can pick up some words from it. ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भक्तिम्। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे अरविन्दायतपत्रनेत्रा येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वाल्भितो ज्ञाय प्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दुग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता गीता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् भीष्मद्रोणतथा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्रा